What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Waterboy Podcast. It is episode 344, and Yoshinobu Yamamoto is a playoff baseball god. And Brian Kelly has been fired from LSU, which will make this the craziest coaching carousel potentially ever. I would say potentially ever. We have some of the largest brands in college football. Those jobs are open and available for the taking right now. So I expect this next season of college football to have many, many significant changes and moving parts. And I think it's pretty safe to say at least one guy at a job that you and I objectively would think, well, he's doing well there. Why would he want to leave?
Yeah.
Why does he want to go? We were talking about this with Signetti. Why would he want to go restart fresh, go restart the whole culture at a new place and build it up? Why would they want to do that? I just think, though, because of the opportunities available, somebody's going to go take it.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to go take it.
I would agree with that.
But this is going to be one of the craziest cycles ever when it comes to coach changes. And I would imagine we see some NFL openings as well. There are a lot of teams really underperforming so far.
Yes, but I mean, as much as people have been like, oh, Sark wants to go to the NFL, Marcus Freeman wants to go to the NFL. The college,
crazy.
There's not going to be a translation from college to the NFL this year. That's not going to happen. Not going to happen. That I'm ruling out. But the rest of it, yes, the football cycle will be large this year.
Well, I'm saying not necessarily like head coach, but guys are like Joe Brady to the NFL, for example.
You mean Joe Brady to college?
Well, not even, but just
you're
when
saying
he left
from LSU to
he was in the NFL. He hasn't been gone back. He hasn't been back since.
Yes.
Right now, it's like, why would he want to go back? So maybe it's a
LSU head coaching job.
Well, you just Google, you know what? Not even, they should actually make this free for the next month just to do with the public service. The public a favor, community service favor. We should make the LSU 24/7 message boards free for viewing at least.
Oh, hey, they really love Sean McVay over there.
So,
I'm going to get into it. I'll get into it. I will get into it. I said this to you earlier.
Yeah, they're like, we should go after McVay first. We should we have to make Andy Reid say no, so
yeah,
start there. Sirianni,
Dan Campbell, I think, is interested.
O-line guy for us if he wants to be the O-line coach down in Baton Rouge. Dan Campbell could be the strength guy. Not sure he'd be like our head coach. We're trying to win over here at LSU, so like I don't know if we want to do Dan Campbell right now. LSU fans would look at Dan Campbell and just be like, well, I mean, like he's never won a Super Bowl, so like he's a loser. Their fans are in such a mental pretzel right now, Everett. They don't even know. They're in a state of it's desperation. That's what it's desperation. It's not like shock. It's desperation. We need to find the answer right now. We can't wait any longer. But yeah, no, I think moving forward, you'll see like at least once a week, one tweet with at least 10K likes of Coach O and an LSU polo. You'll see that at least once a week until they announce a head coach.
Yeah.
And Coach O's
more than once a week, honestly, it's possible.
Coach O's certainly not the answer to fix LSU right now. But we should expect some big moving parts. Right now, let's start small with this debate. Let's rank these three openings.
Okay.
Penn State, Florida, LSU, in order of when they opened. Will we rank them in terms of you're a coach? Where do I want to coach at the most?
Honestly,
where would I win a national championship at? The easiest.
The easy. Like it's weird because the SEC and
let's do that.
The Big Ten.
Where could I win a national championship the easiest?
I mean, technically speaking, you put Penn State in the big Penn State's
competition
in the Big Ten, right? Like they would be like a top 3 or 4 team generally based off competition, right? And the SEC, you have to
You have a
go
gauntlet
through
every year.
you have to go through everybody. But at the same time,
Vanderbilt's a team now. What the
to
hell?
be
That was
fair,
supposed to be our
they
Rutgers
do
bye
take
win.
more teams out of the SEC, right? Like right now, there is 1, 2, 3,
100%.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 schools ranked in the SEC. Like,
yeah, and obviously not all
right.
9 are making the playoff. Duh,
right, but
they
still,
boost the shit out
per
of them too,
volume, like favoritism,
fair.
right? So,
Yeah,
I mean, if you were to go purely based off of like quantity of matchups, I would say Penn State because it's the inverse of the equation.
Quantity as in
they're
you
playing less.
the easiest path.
Yes, they're playing less difficult schools. But I think per resources, obviously Penn State has a lot of money.
Yeah,
you give it to LSU
or
Florida.
Yeah, not
and
I mean, yeah, like Penn State has a lot of money,
I mean, personally,
it's just not the same as some other schools' money.
Obviously,
once again, they still have a shit ton of money.
Yeah,
they have a lot of money.
Obviously, the Swamp's got a lot of money. But if I were to just rank the openings personally, LSU, Florida, Penn State.
Yeah, I would actually have to hard agree on that one. I think LSU, Florida, Penn State.
Penn State. Yeah,
it's just like my one thought with Florida. It's like in a world where somehow you could get every high school recruit in the state of Florida to specifically go to Gainesville. Like, yeah, that team, if they just had a Florida all-star team,
but it's like the competition.
There's no one in the history of college football coaching, not even Jimmy Johnson at Miami, had every single guy from the state of Florida. Like, it's so there's too many players to lock up the whole thing. And be kind of also because of that, it's like teams like Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia, LSU, even to a degree, like Texas, they're able to go into Florida and there's too many guys for just Florida, Miami, and FSU to get every Florida 4 and 5. And like also kind of because that's like LSU, there's a ton of talent in Louisiana. Do not get me wrong. There's a ton there. But it's also like location, the access to neighboring. Like LSU can recruit Florida easy. That's not
Florida,
really difficult. Texas really like not like they're just in the middle of all these recruiting hot spots in the
It's different now because obviously A&M's got a lot of money and they're doing really, really well right now. And then you always have the Longhorns just in there, right? And LSU, different situation than it was with Coach O, or with Miles, or with Saban. Because
Les Miles LSU was a wagon.
Yeah, but because they haven't been as successful lately. But with that said, like LSU is still one of those blue blood programs that you're just like, oh, when I think of college football, I think of LSU football. Right,
is up there.
So, and arguably, to some extent, some kids will say that they think about it more than Texas. Right, like you didn't
at this point today. Like I'd kind of be surprised.
You and I grew up. Vince Young was like you had Colt McCoy, right? But now there hasn't been that. Like Arch Manning is, I guess.
I mean, the years when Charlie Strong took over, it was like, we're not even thinking about like Texas was almost like a shoo-in 7-5 from post Mac Brown to Sark. It was like 7-5 every year.
Yeah.
They were so shit. Oklahoma was the preseason number 2 team for like a decade straight in the 2010s. Because it was like, well, they're just obviously winning the Big 12. That was literally the preseason for a decade. Every single year in NCAA, just Oklahoma number 2 every single year. From like NCAA 07 to 14.
Yeah, I really wouldn't be surprised if that's the association now.
Oh yeah, but like, yeah, I mean, I was like LSU, the Burrow thing. It's still so recent that it's fine. Florida, I don't know how any kid could be sold on them right now. How do you get sold on Florida? Like to them, Tim Tebow's like a media person. It's like how I used to view Charles Barkley when I was growing up. Like I didn't find out Charles Barkley played basketball until I was like 9. I do feel like a Hall of Famer. I thought he was the funny guy on TV.
To this point, like association always, I think, comes with the quarterback first. Like Florida hasn't had like Kyle Pitts. They
had that 1 year with Will Grier before he got suspended for PEDs. If you remember,
I mean, Kyle Trask was also kind of dumping it a little bit for a little bit. They're fun, a little frisky.
But they've never been a true shit. Watch out if if they get rolling, they could win the Nat. I haven't
Yeah.
since Urban left. They haven't been to that stage since Urban Meyer left in like '08.
But just I mean, I want to get into the coaching carousel a little bit because honestly, that like every game this week went exactly the way that we predicted it would be
For the most
going.
part,
Literally
damn
every single one of
the
them.
whole thing.
So just talking about like coaching carousel and openings, and we're talking about these other schools, like, and ranking these openings, Grant, like obviously
we're actually like so unbelievably right on the rankings. I heard the predictions last week. I'm going back.
No, we
literally the two massive spreads we both sat there. It's like, dude, Louisville's gonna like sleepwalk through this and hardly.
And also, I was like, Houston's gonna win this game versus Arizona State. Like, Houston will win the game.
We're kind of just hitting that right on the head.
Yeah. But just talking about openings, we're ranking these openings, but then we're talking about, some of these vacancies will get filled by other highly profiled schools. So like if you're going to rank those programs, you add in an Ole Miss, add in a potential Notre Dame, add in a potential
So the big
Washington,
swirling
I don't know.
thing that's another thing. Like at this point, like Jed Fish is probably gonna go get a new job, which is
because it's the way that it plays out. It's the way that it plays out because like you're gonna have Penn State, LSU, Florida,
Everett.
FSU, Auburn. Like they're all gonna get guys, and whatever schools they leave from will be opening, and it probably will be in a better position than Washington just because of conference. But still Big Ten. You never know. He's doing great things up in Washington. So, but like that's where I'm curious. Like if we had every single thing on the map, right? And let's say we had LSU, Florida, Penn State, Auburn, and then our additional openings in potentially Ole Miss, potentially Notre Dame, potentially Oregon, potentially Washington, etc. Like where would I think
right now everything? It's just all of like I would imagine. I'm just going to play those three schools real quick. Let's start with Penn State. They open first. Penn State is probably in serious discussions with Matt Rule at this point. By this point, like it's arguably signed. Like they arguably have already approved Matt Rule's like staff budget. That's probably like so in play right now because they were the first to fire him.
Yeah,
like they've been on this.
They've had some conversations for sure.
I would imagine like that Rule the Penn State's like pretty looking pretty damn good. In my opinion, the rumors floating around of Brian Hartline getting asked for both Penn State and Florida, I would say like that's a Matt Rule agent leak. I would say
there's
like,
no shot he's been asked for Florida. Like that.
No, I'm literally saying like how can I get Matt more money? Like let me just like float out that like Brian Hartline's like in the mix, just like at these other schools, and they could potentially give us a better deal. I'm thinking that route, but I feel pretty good about Rule to Penn State after finding out he's the Prince of Penn State. I wasn't aware of that till like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
that one I feel pretty good about. Florida, I'm gonna say right now they're in massive talks with Lane, and I think as of today, Lane Kiffin hasn't signed jack shit. I'm not sure if like Lane has directly spoken. It's just been his agent.
I generally think though that any team that's on the cusp or likely to be in the playoffs, their coaches will not have
lock in right now.
They're not having personal conversations with them because also even if they intend to leave, if you say nothing and then you go make it deep in the playoffs or you win a natty, boost the fattest contract because then they really need both schools really have to go after you. But
honestly,
I would
want the Ole Miss AD to be re-upping the offer, and then you just screenshot the money value, forward that over to the Florida AD, and you're just like match.
I mean, I also like Lane Kiffin's going to be probably between three schools, and he stays at Ole Miss for whatever reason, or LSU or Florida. That's his three schools. And I will say this one thing. I've seen it on my Twitter feed, but apparently when he went to Ole Miss, his daughter was the reason that he went to Ole Miss and stayed at Ole Miss. If that tends to be the trend of things, his daughter is dating Whit Weeks, LSU. Don't know about his eligibility if he happens to be there.
I have
Definitely
no clue.
another
I think he's out
storyline.
of. I
Definitely
think
another
he's out
storyline
of
that could go into that. Maybe
eligibility.
he's got a COVID year or something. I don't know, because we're also about to run out of COVID years here in like the next year. I think is when the last like players
Oh yeah,
transition
we
out.
should be done with those pretty soon. I
Yeah,
just if you're Lane, it's like yeah, like you're in a weird spot because you leaving it could kind of just be like what you did earlier in your career, like taking Tennessee job, taking the Raiders, like just trying to jump and climb so fast that you never settle down anywhere. And now you are settled down at Ole Miss. Like you
yeah.
do have it going well. You like actually figured this shit out. You did do it. You are a playoff contender year in year out in the SEC at Ole Miss. Like he did accomplish what he set out to do. But then again, this might be your last chance. This might be the last chance to go get one of those top 5 jobs.
You
So
never know. Like this is an unprecedented year to begin with, and like I'm sitting here and I'm looking.
this
I've
might be the
got
only time ever in Lane's life that he'll be the number 1 name on the coaching hot board.
yeah. I mean,
It's
like
probably going to be the only time in his life
very
that he is.
easy. It's very easy to go from the
Things
best
happen
name to the worst name.
exactly.
It's
Things
very
change.
or not
He
even on the list.
knows better than most coaches how quickly you can go for being the number 1 name to holy shit. You might be the FAU, maybe the FAU head coach if you're lucky. Like that's a fall
Yeah,
from grace that he is well aware of. Uh,
yeah.
so if you're
But
Lane,
I mean, either way, he'll get his bag. And I mean, we'll see if
oh
that's
yeah,
even
he's
what
getting a
he cares
lot of
about.
money. That we
But
can confirm. Being
but
his
Grant,
agent right now is lit, super lit.
like just looking at the layout of a lot of these big jobs, right? And then where like these coaches openings will be in an Ole Miss or in a Missouri or an Arizona State or whatever, because those are also going to be
I think we're gonna see a
valid
massive
jobs.
change. The rumor right
But
now is. Mhm.
well, no, go ahead.
The rumor right now is Marcus Freeman to LSU. Now, what got up posted earlier today, I believe on 3, it said Marcus Freeman's agent has declined to pursue Florida and Penn State.
It said
Interesting.
nothing about LSU.
Interesting. They didn't include a third school. Specifically said he has taken his name out of the running for Florida and Penn State. Interesting. Interesting that is an on 3 posted
Yeah, like that's credible.
article.
That's credible. And
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
almost
we've
makes me
had our
think
own
that Marcus
sources
Freeman
as well, but
asked
yeah.
asked
Um,
on 3 to post. It's just making me think. It's
it
making me
would be
think.
really funny if
Who's giving them that scoop?
LSU's back-to-back head coaches are both poached from Notre Dame
Oh
back to
no, I was
back.
also thinking that. Like my brother brought up, just like, is there any chance that LSU fans are like, we're not hiring another head coach from Notre Dame? No, we're not doing this shit again. And I was literally just like, off of that logic, maybe. Like I didn't think about that route, but purely
I
off
mean,
that logic,
Notre Dame also
maybe
is one of those jobs where it's like there are not many jobs to tear up from Notre Dame.
not.
There are not really really low.
There are.
LSU happens to be one of
And
those jobs.
yeah, and you could also say like being the head coach at Notre Dame, doing well, you have the Notre Dame cult behind you. That's up there with the BTS Stan Army in terms of fandoms that will defend you online. I like Notre Dame fans when you're doing good for them, dude. They will defend you.
I mean, I would argue if Notre Dame were to open, that becomes the third best job opening in the cycle behind Florida and LSU. Even though I did just
I would say I think that
it might be the second best.
I think that might be like firmly over Florida at this point. Yeah, I think it might be. Just
I just said that
recently.
there's not many openings that are above
Yeah.
it, and I mean I would agree with that. I was
resources, and like if we had this operating at 100% maximum efficiency, Florida's over it. I just don't know if we will ever see them operating at 100% Urban Meyer capacity.
Here's something
that might not just possible anymore.
Here's something that I was thinking about just with other schools and other names. Okay, I obviously Lane Kiffin is like the creme de la creme, right? Him, Marcus Freeman,
number 1 name,
the ones, right? Now you have kind of your second tier, Grant, which is the Eli Drinkwitz, and the Kenny Dillingham, right? Like I'd say that that's solidly second tier.
I also want this out there. Dan Lanning will not be discussed any further on the show about any code.
Were you getting
I was
threats,
playing
Grant?
with no. I was flowing it around, but I was like, I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole of if that domino falls, what
Now,
that can. No, we're just gonna assume he stays.
I've
And
said
that
it
domino
before.
stays up.
I've said it before, but one name I want to put in with the Drinkowitz and the Dillingham camp, Grant, and arguably I like this name so much, I would put him, I would say Drinkowitz and him are above
Is it
Kenny
Clark
Dillingham.
Lee?
No, it is
Thought I hit it.
Brent Key.
Oh yeah,
I love
he's getting
Brent Key
lot of looks.
so much. And personally, I do think, I know that I've seen so much about John Summerall to Auburn and all this stuff. Like, I think it'd be a home run hire that if Auburn were to go hire Brent Key. I think that that is a home run hire for the mentality and what they need at Auburn. And I really love that. And when I was going through this list of openings and stuff, Grant, the one thing that I was thinking is of these openings we have now, I could see Drinkowitz and Key getting jobs. Like Drinkowitz could, if it's not Matt Rule, I could see Drinkowitz at Penn State. Like I could see Drinkowitz at
Drink to Penn State.
I could see Drink at Auburn. I could see Brent Key moving into like Arkansas or something like that, right? Just moving into the SEC.
I hope Brent
conference.
Key stays at Georgia Tech over Arkansas. But
I mean, I personally think Georgia Tech's a better job, but it's still the SEC that's calling.
No,
right?
no, I know.
But I do think
and
when
if
it comes
he does
to that,
well there, then
I do think though when it comes to like that tier of coaches, that Kenny Dillingham, I'm getting a fraud alert right now as I'm talking about this.
And that's a really loud fraud.
Yeah, can you hear that?
Really well.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming down.
Does that get attributed to Kenny?
I don't know. Maybe it's the tier of coaches. Maybe all three of them don't end up getting great jobs. But Kenny Dillingham could be like that odd man out where it's the next tier of openings come out. And he's going to be in that next kind of set of openings where it's not an immediate thing. And it could be the same thing with any of those coaches. But I do think between the three of them that he could be that odd man last on the list of moving.
I'm afraid Kenny Dillingham gets Matt Campbelled. And he's just like was the hot name for a few years. He's like kind of drifted out a little bit.
Yeah.
Like the one thing about Dillingham is he was the Auburn OC in 2019. Was so like State under Norvell. Was Oregon under Lanning that like first year. But
right now, I do have I had him written in just through the list of jobs I have right now, not thinking about moving anybody else. I had him listed on FSU, and that was one of the later things I filled out. I don't know how much better of a job FSU is than ASU right now. I know obviously money and stuff's available, but between the ACC and the Big 12, like ASU is doing really well.
Oh yeah. From that angle, yeah, I can understand. It'd just be like money, pretty much.
Yeah, but two other things.
A lot more there.
I'm curious what you think about this, though. First thing that I thought was interesting, Tony Elliott to Arkansas from Virginia right now. That's one of those hot names. They're doing really well, and just by the way things fall, they're always going to be like, let's go get the guy who just turned it around.
I think if you're Arkansas, that's a name you should go after.
Like
Tony Elliott.
Elliott.
I was kind of on the fence about him as a head coach those first couple of years post Clemson, but recently he's made UVA competitive. He was, he is essentially responsible for the greatest field storm in the history of sports. So
yeah,
with that in mind,
that's just all when you're sending the recruitment feed, I guess, or the highlight reel. That's the only thing you send to them. If I'm the agent, I just show them that. That's it.
I'll be honest. I'm traumatized from Tony Elliott in the past. He was Clemson's OC under T-Law. So,
but Grant, I had that for Arkansas. The other thing for UCLA, I've said James Franklin. That's a job I could see him getting offered, but Manny Diaz from Duke to UCLA.
Yeah.
Moving from the ACC,
I haven't really thought
into
of that.
the
I don't
Big
know how
Ten.
enticing
I don't
UCLA
know
is either.
I just feel like from a notoriety standpoint and a money standpoint, they've got both. And if you get a good coach in there with the notoriety and with the money,
if they
I feel like you can do well.
But it's if they want to. like right now, UCLA for athletics, the priority is basketball.
No,
That
obviously, yeah.
basketball NIL Everett. Oh
I mean, I wouldn't
God.
be surprised at all if they
Holy
offered
shit,
Jerry
dude.
Neuheisel right now a job. They offered him the head coach job. I wouldn't be surprised by that. But
He
if
has to be the offensive coordinator. He has to
I
be.
really wouldn't be surprised if they just
He
offered him the
has
head
to.
coaching job. But
At this point, like, screw it. Like, we're already so shit. Like,
yeah.
UCLA, they don't like it's probably not going to be too great to start off, but
But
your
like
goal
also
is the lifelong UCLA head coach, and he is still the head coach in 2060. Like Kirk Ferentz at Iowa, he's been there since like the 90s. He was the
yeah.
youngest coach in college
I
football
mean
when he got
Mike
hired.
Gundy until
Oh yeah,
now he just
Gundy
got
too,
fired.
but just like kind of those guys, lifelong program guys. Like I'm specifically thinking Ferentz because he literally
Yeah.
got hired so young and he's still there. They could just do that with Jerry.
I
And it's
mean
like that guy loves UCLA so much that like like it's rare to find this in college football to find a coach that is like blindly loyal to your program at the end of the day. Like Jerry Neuheisel, his love is UCLA football, not football. You get what I'm saying?
it's just
Like he
specific.
loves
Yeah, no, I got you.
UCLA football.
I, I,
That's
I,
why
I
he's
mean, he's
coaching.
been caught on video. Like he's put out into the public saying,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I want the
My goal
UCLA
is to
head
be
coach job.
the
I want to
UCLA.
be the
That's my
UCLA head coach."
dream goal of
I
coaching.
am curious what you think about this. I don't know if he would take it because maybe the ego is a little bit high. But Grant, what if
For
their
a second, I thought
first
you were about to
head
say Jerry
coaching?
Neuheisel. I know you're not.
No, no. What if their first head coaching opening offer is Brian Hartline to UCLA?
They should 100% try
But I'm
that.
saying, I don't know if Brian Hartline would take that, but I do think
No,
that
he
that's the
wouldn't. But
caliber.
UCLA should go try that.
But I'm saying based
There's no
on like
way Hardline would take it.
based on
But
actual experience and like current status, that's an opening that would like be on the caliber, I would say, for hiring. I don't think that he feels that way, but based on what you've said about him specifically and his credibility
I
as a
don't think
coach,
Brian Hartline would, as a head coach, like on game day, forget recruiting, forget any of that other shit, forget how he hires his staff, which is like 80% of the equate. Forget all that bullshit. Just on Saturdays, Brian Hartline is the head coach of Florida. Does he contribute to wins or else? I think at this point he is not contributing a positive wins above replacement.
and that's why I'm saying UCLA or a tiered school like at that level would be the proper starting place at that to demonstrate success.
Oh, yeah, if you were going to give him the spot, I don't think it would be a good idea giving him his first head coach job. So the thought is like let's pretend ideal everything works out. Florida like hires him. He keeps the recruiting. He locks up all the Florida dudes to go to Gainesville. Like he does all that shit. Like even if all of that outside stuff is in place, which is why Hartline would be attractive, the recruiting, how he dominates Florida. Literally, he just dominates that state.
I mean, I saw him flying to Orlando the other month ago.
He dominates that state recruiting. And so the whole thought is you will just keep the Florida kids at home. But even if he does that perfect, which he probably won't, but I would actually feel more okay thinking that would occur. He would then also need to be an excellent in-game head coach for Florida to be 10-2 every year.
Yeah, like otherwise you're Billy Napier.
But I would say it's not even like a coin flip 50-50. Is he going to be a great in-game head coach? It's just like not a great bet to hope that he learns year one.
I have three things, I guess, that I just want to say coaching related before we end up moving.
I literally think if I'm UCLA, I'd rather have Neuheisel than Hartline, just because Jerry will never leave. He'll be
Jerry will literally be there for life.
Like, I think they're better off.
So first of all, for the LSU thing, this is not like the sexy name by any means, and I personally think that there's a negative chance he leaves the school that he's at right now because I think he's content where he is, he's happy where he is, and personally, from my experience with him, I would expect him to stay. But granted, it is almost something beautiful that I would hope Willie Fritz gets hired by LSU, and we have John Summerall and Willie Fritz, and the LSU Tulane rivalry comes back again. And because both of
Out
them with
of
that credibility.
respect, you guys would have to start a home and home.
Yeah, I mean,
Out of respect, we'd have to get that shit on the schedule.
Certifiably would have to. But that's I do not see in any world where Willie leaves, even if he gets offered any of these openings. Like, I think that for what he wants, he's happy at Houston. They're doing well right now. I wouldn't expect that, but that's just one of those pipe dream things that I think would just be cool for the state of Louisiana. And he's a great coach still, like very, very good coach. But Grant, just two other things that I'm curious about. One, do you see Rhett Lashley from SMU moving anywhere? And two, what about Vanderbilt, their head coach moving anywhere?
Yeah, so Clark Lee from Vanderbilt, I think without doubt, people are calling him up. He's probably not the first name on the list.
Like I said, it's not the sexy name, but
how about this? Like, if Lane Kiffin leaves Ole Miss, Clark Lee to boom, we're not even thinking about this shit. Go. Just
I mean, I've seen John Summerall names over to Ole Miss as well.
But I just like for Ole Miss
doesn't happen
because you know what Ole Miss can be when it's not going well. Like if they don't have the coach in place, Ole Miss, you have no idea what the record's going to be year in, year out. It is all over. But because of that, like Ole Miss, we just want to maintain what Lane's doing right now, 10-2. Clark Lee is more than capable of maintaining that, just moving over. That's your safest floor bet. And if I'm Ole Miss, that is my concern right now, what the lows could be post-late. So if Lane Kiffin leaves Ole Miss, you go Clark Lee. We're not thinking about this anymore.
Yeah, and Vandy's got some money now too, so they can hire a pretty big name guy to
if Vandy doesn't announce an extension within the next 2 weeks, he's gone, Everett. Yeah. They better. I'm surprised they haven't already. I'm like honestly surprised they haven't. Like, if you don't extend him like literally in 9 days, he's gone. Like, you need to go now.
Now, what about SMU and Rhett Lashley? Because that is a name. Obviously, this year they haven't done as well, but made the playoffs last year. And, like they have been very successful when moving up conferences from the American into the ACC. And this year's 3-1 in the ACC.
Rhett Lashley is a name that has been floating around for a while now, kind of just in terms of that next guy up type of discussions. If you remember Lashley, longtime coach, kind of just all over 09 in 2010, he was a GA at Auburn, the Cam Newton team that won a Natty. So he started out at Auburn for that Cam Newton run. Then later in his career, got promoted from Auburn GA to OC of Arkansas State. Did that for 2 years, then came back to Auburn as OC from 2013 to 2016. And that run is a Nick Marshall, Trey Mason, Auburn Natty run, losing to Jameis in the Rose Bowl. So he is a proven Auburn OC at the end of the day. That's where his loyalties lie in Auburn. Also went to Arkansas, played quarterback there. So if he has any emotional SEC ties, it's to those two schools. But the big rumors I've been hearing the most is him to Ole Miss if Lane were to leave.
Really?
That's
you would say over Clark Lee?
I don't know exactly, but I think Rhett Lashley is the sexier name than Clark Lee right now.
Really?
Even though
interesting.
Even though Clark Lee, it's like, dude, look what he's doing at Vanderbilt. Rhett Lashley is still the sexy name, in my opinion, to some of these ADs and like booster groups that are funding this. And this is something I want to draw a comparison to. A couple years ago, A&M had an opening firing Jimbo Fisher, and A&M, it got leaked that they were almost finalizing Mark Stoops to A&M. Now, if you remember when that happened,
yes, yep.
This was starting to break.
A couple times.
It was becoming public, and then the Texas A&M fans themselves said, no, 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 no. We didn't just parade around the 50-yard line with Jimbo Fisher's buyout contract. We did not just hold an in-stadium parade with the buyout contract to go get Mark Stoops. No. And the A&M faithful said, no, we're not doing that bullshit. You're getting Mike Elko. And then look how that turned out for them.
Much, much better considering what's going on in Kentucky right now. And I will say
the 12th man at Texas A&M saved Texas A&M, Everett.
I will also
not
say
the oil
this.
money. It was the 12th man.
I don't remember if we've talked about it on this podcast or not. But, with everything going on, Mark Stoops has been the perennial name attached to potential firings every single year.
Yeah.
Obviously, John Sumrall from Tulane has been a name a lot of fans at Kentucky have talked about going there. I don't know what Kentucky's plans are for Mark Stoops, right? But if they do fire, they have the opening. One, if I'm John Sumrall and I'm Tulane, I would expect him to stay at Tulane over going to Kentucky. And two,
I just don't know how interesting Kentucky is.
If that isn't the case, right, and Sumrall is listening, right, you're going to have to outbid a lot of other schools that are going to be interested. And I still to this day, I still right now think that Tulane is a much more appealing job than Kentucky is, because obviously Kentucky is an SEC school and they have a little bit more money, but Tulane's got a yearly option, a yearly pipeline to get to the college football playoffs, and is renovating facilities, is the marquee G5 program able to recruit kids, and you don't have to deal with the competition of the SEC. So, just food for thought. I don't know. I don't know what
thing
Kentucky
about
would
Kentucky
do if they fire him
that would be enticing is just like I'm a little confused right now how they handle Mark Stoops, because it's like you're Kentucky football. I mean, if you are expecting Mark Stoops to go 8-4 every year, like, you have your expectations incorrect, buddy. Like, you need to dial it back.
And I think that Mark Stoops' buyout
is like a consistent thing.
I think his buyout's like $38 million. So by coach contracts,
I don't know where their priorities are at. I would say right now, firing Cal, like the priority is BBN right now. So like, until the basketball team's looking good, we're not even thinking about anything else. So if I'm the Kentucky AD, that's where my priorities are at right now. Like, I need to fix this shit today. Oh my God, I can't do this. We need to be Kentucky basketball again.
Just also some school head coaching, openings or potentials to watch coming from the G5 to some of these lower bracketed, P4 schools. Memphis and USF, both really big, really possible coaching changes going on there. Also, Boise
Memphis
State.
Also, I just don't know where the priorities of their athletic department is, because the basketball's got steam. Like, they have really big steam right now. I don't know where you. I don't know what do you prioritize? Like, I don't know. I honestly do not know.
It is possible. It is possible for them to do both, but right now it honestly seems like they're more invested in football than basketball.
I think Memphis is. I think that might be an incorrect decision. That might be the wrong investment.
Yeah.
But hey,
we'll find out. Okay. All right. Moving onward into, maybe the NFL. Like, this
is the most boring week. I'm pretty sure the Jets game was the only game that had a single digit differential.
I forgot something. I guess it's kind of still related to the NFL, but the last thing to say about college football, Grant, I said I was going to talk about it at the start, and I forgot to. But the LSU Reddit page, fan openings, if you just look at it, they're like tracking planes from LA to New Orleans right now, being like, oh, that's Sean McVay's coming. He's expressed and it's more than one person, by the way. It's not just like one fan. Like, no, this is like 9 individual people, and then people commenting on those posts being like, Sean
There should be like
McVay.
at least 900 posters, like currently active. If you went on
Oh
their
yeah,
profile, it would have a little green circle. That, like, I would say there are at least 900 people right now while we're recording this at 5:40 p.m.
Central.
Central Standard Time.
Yeah,
There are at least 900 people right now this second looking up flight trackers.
but I'm just specifically
factories.
saying like there's more than multiple people being like Sean McVay would take the LSU job over the Rams. Like that's the status of the LSU like coach hunt in the fan base mind.
I respect the hustle. I respect the hustle.
What school was it the other year? They were like Dan Campbell's gonna come. It was like I don't remember what, but it was like a year or two ago, and they're like Dan Campbell's interested. Like Dan Campbell's
could have been A&M. Oh yeah, A&M.
It was A&M. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. What was it?
That's like the same. They're in the kind of the same vein. But
I'm sorry, I need to just fact check that. I'm like 99%
I'm pretty sure you're right.
Sure
that sounds right.
A&M.
That sounds right.
99% positive. Yeah, you bet your ass he was part of the A&M cult. That makes so much sense. It explains so much of his personality when you're like, no. He was like a part of those yell leader weird dances and shit. Yeah, like he fully led one of those.
All right, technical difficulties. For whatever reason, Zoom has decided not to operate today.
Well, shout out the kids. They were playing a banger outside.
They were playing some music, and my microphone is now gone, I guess. So
I'm actually pretty disappointed because you haven't mentioned it, so you can't hear. But the kids outside right now, they're having like a daycare session. It's a trap house. I think they have a bouncy house over there. It is.
I would not be surprised at all. But into the NFL, slow week in the NFL this week. Shout out to the Jets. That was the closest game of the week.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a good sign if the only source of entertainment is Justin Fields.
You said it, not me.
My toxic trait was that I would never give up on Justin Fields. That I've shed the toxic trait.
So Grant, in lieu of really recapping, because I think this week also just kind of showed the same thing. Like there's some teams that were upset teams, like, that it just weren't close games to begin with anyways. But I think that
Dolphins, you get some credit.
Okay. I just do think that still continues to prove though that this is any game, any week, any team situation that we, have talked about now.
I bet if all these games are played 10 times, there might be 3 double-digit wins, and we just happen to get
one. Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, bet. I just switched to my microphone.
Perfect.
It's back onto my laptop. Never mind then. I thought I could do something. Okay. But Grant, in lieu of recapping, the games this week, because there's not much to talk about, I wanted to bring up 2 things. One, the NFL is talking about doing a 4th and 15 play instead of the onside kick this year.
Yeah, I'm kind of with this.
I like that.
Really down for it.
There is also one really, really easy solution, to fix the lack of onside kick recoveries, which is don't force it to only be in the 4th quarter when you're trailing and having to announce that you're doing the onside kick.
Yeah. No, people forgot about that addition. You're not allowed to onside kick unless it's like the 4th,
and you're trailing.
You have to be losing. No. It's too much.
I think that I don't know if it's the Bengals or the Browns. One of them got safetied this week, and it was before
on this 4th and 5th.
Well, hold on.
Okay, yeah.
But it was before the 4th quarter, and they were trailing. But I think it was before the 4th quarter because it was on a safety, and in lieu of punting it, they opted to kick an onside kick, which is a rule. You can do that, and I guess that's a loophole. But you have to get safetied in order to do it. So I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
Not necessarily great, but okay. What were you gonna ask?
Yeah. I was just saying, like on this 4th and 15, I'm just thinking of ways to game it. You're trying to get this 4th and 15. I'm thinking of ways to game this system. I'm just thinking of some ways of like, could you you can't like bait false or bait offsides to get like a 4th and 10. I'm just thinking of ways to make it
You're trying to Bill Belichick it. I got you. No, I'm
trying to just like is the only way there could be a flaw is if there's like a running into the well, okay, actually no, this applies. Running into the kicker, they just scored a touchdown. Now the other team is kicking off. It's now a 4th and 10, so they go for it.
Well, also they might also make it the same thing where it's only available if you're trailing in the 4th quarter.
Really good point. You know what? Yeah, you're right.
Knowing the way the NFL works, that's how they're going to do it because they're like, oh, well, now there's too many. Everybody's going to go for it.
That might be the correct thing, though. I don't want the NFL to become you go for it every single like that's not
but also the solution for that is to just make onside kicks normal again.
Just like go back to the normal.
You're gonna get more recoveries and you're not gonna have it happen every single play.
Yeah, it's
because there will be somebody, i.e. Dan Campbell, who's just like, fuck it. I'm just you're giving the ball at the 40 anyways. I might as well or 30 anyways. I might as well go for it.
Exactly. That's what I'm kind of saying, like maybe it could be that 4th and 15, you have the ball like on the 10-yard line. So if you get the first, you're on the 25. Like if you don't get it, you give them a touch. Like there's gotta be some way to punish you not getting it. You know what I mean?
No, I fully
that might
fully
be it. It's a 4th and 15. But the ball is snapped on your own 10-yard. Like if you don't get it, they have a 1st and goal, essentially.
Yeah. I don't know.
The game's gone simply at the end. Game's so gone. Where's it gone, Alan? I don't know, Jeff. I don't know where the game's gone. It's so far gone. Don't even know where to begin looking for it.
Yeah. Other things.
We wrap up with some MLB talk.
We need to talk about the NBA, Grant. We need to talk about the NBA.
Yeah, no, MLB will come up next episode. We'll have better understanding.
I was just gonna say it loops into it. Just like there's a quote from an offensive coordinator just being like, why would I kick off the ball if you're getting it at the 30 for a field goal? Like, why would I just give you the ball at the 30 to get 3 points? That makes no sense. I'd rather just go for it, not get it, and then I give you the ball at the 2 and I just don't get any points. But Grant, into the NBA, a lot of stuff to talk about that unraveled. The only thing before we talk about the big news, Grant, that I did want to say is that the NBA was bullied into bringing the Larry O'Brien trophy back to center court in the NBA finals. So bullying has worked for sports and at least one occasion.
Okay, so that's 2 instances of bullying working in the past year. So we have this bullying Adam Silver, and then we have Texas A&M fans bullying their AD into hiring Mike Elko.
They should have waited to drop that news until after, because I know Adam Silver knew that this gambling news was going to come out. Like he should have waited until after it came out to be like, hey, look at this. Look over here. We're putting the Larry O'Brien trophy back.
Oh, yeah. It's also, I'm interested all the timing of this stuff, of course, right before opening night, NBA, all this stuff like kind of starts to leak out or just around opening week, which my first thought was, I think Adam Silver actually leaked this because we're talking about the NBA, not the NFL right now. It's October. But then when I think more about the whole situation, and now we have like a new player. Shit, dude. You see Antonio Gates is implicated in this now. We got a new player every day. Kevin Garnett is as well. We got new guys every day getting implicated in this. And like, this is like the only way I could see the NBA taking a bit of a hit. It was bad seeing Greeny address it on SportsCenter or ESPN.
And ESPN takes their whole thing off.
The ESPN bet ticker off. Yeah, this is my thing. Hey, this podcast, we openly address betting spreads, favorites, and we kind of use that to help guide our predictions or picks. We spend a lot of time discussing the spread. I do think, though, without doubt, gambling is now it's become so mainstream in the leagues addressing it. And like right before the game, they'll now show you their 3 best bets of the game. Now it's a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
When they're doing that, now it's a bit of an issue.
Now,
I
hey, a
don't
lot
have
of
a
this
problem with commentators in a blowout, meaningless game. For example, any of those NFL games, and there's a late touchdown, and the announcer is extremely excited because maybe a special certain over bet just hit for a lot of watchers. Like that is completely fine.
Also, though,
my issue is them pushing bets down your throat before the game, saying these picks, the payouts plus 800 if they all hit.
Well, that's plus also it's not like we've seen, and this connects to college football and to the NFL, honestly. Like obviously the NBA stuff, Terry Rozier was specifically for like, throwing games, right? The rest of us was more so just gambling, really like
was
poker.
Your classic point shave. Somebody's giving you money to hit your under.
But the rest of this, like obviously there's more poker related, but when we're talking about the betting lines and it being shoved in your face, it is an issue when you have a referee in college football getting suspended for the Georgia Auburn clapping scandal, and also happened to be the official on the Clemson Ohio State catch interception play.
And it's also the only instance like ever that they publicly suspended a referee for the rest of the year. It's the only time I've ever heard
that. And it's not just that, it's also now you have like in the NFL game slate this past weekend, the same old when you have the Eagles and the tush push play and there's a clear fumble and they call the play dead, when he's sitting on the ball's getting ripped out. Like it's if the officiating is what's coming into it, you got Tim Donahue Jr. going across the league.
Dude, and then Tim Donahue makes a new media appearance every week on like a major podcast just talking about it. It's like it's so just accepted now.
And it's also like I watched a documentary on it on Netflix, right? Not documentary, but like in it, they're literally just like, like
Donahue doc,
and it's literally like
really good.
In it, they're just talking about he's talking about how like, oh yeah, like the night before the game, we would as refs meet up and talk about, okay, well, Allen Iverson's been fucking annoying the shit out of me, so I'm going to call a foul on him every time he does this one thing.
They never had
in the gray area
before a Chris Paul game. It was just unanimously agreed he's not getting a call all night,
But like then, like there's no way refs still don't do that, and there's no way refs across every league don't do that.
Well, today so irrelevant, but in the Portuguese football soccer league, it got exposed today that of, I believe, the 600 refs, over 60% of the refs have been confirmed to place a bet on a game that they refed in the past 12 months. Over 60% confirmed to have bet on a game that they refed in the past year. It's all over. It's everywhere.
And it's just like, it's so mainstream now.
This is kind of what I thought was a big issue, though, is how the NFL could get implicated in this. NBA, at least, they're like still slightly removed to a slight degree. A big issue, though, is I was looking it up. I'm pretty sure the NFL, when they entered their agreement with ESPN, I thought they purchased a ownership stake in ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
They purchased stake in Disney. So Disney owns ESPN Bet. If it was just ESPN, well, them being partnered with a network, even though that network is involved in gambling, technically the NFL could get by. But right now, the NFL, Everett, is financially incentivized because they are investing in gambling companies. They are now incentivized to increase profits by rigging the outcome of games. So the gambling thing that they own takes a really big bump. They're now financially incentivized. So now that there's financial incentive for Roger Goodell to rig the games, now there could be an issue because NFL owns
and I mean Adam Silver is required to he has to disclose something to Congress within like the next 2 or 3 days apparently. So like, I mean, it could become very large. The thing about Rozier that's
really sus, though, is that it got revealed all the sports books were flagging to the NBA. We have a ton of big money under.
No, like they tried to sweep it under the bed.
Yeah, and so the NBA, they put him on IR. That like now you guys are implicating this shit.
I mean, hey, everything that this is pointing to just confirms that Michael Jordan was suspended in '94.
Oh, so, yeah.
just why I hope we can put
yeah.
that one to bed. But yeah, I think that's gonna about do it. So
Yeah. A bit of a
thank you
shorter
guys
one
so much
today.
for
Got
watching,
time
listening,
frame.
raise 5 stars. You can find us on Spotify, Twitter, and on Instagram at Waterboy Pod. You can follow me on Twitter at Everett6 and at Waterboy Graham for synopsis every week on all podcast platforms. We also post exclusive content on Instagram and on TikTok as well. So make sure to subscribe to notifications to miss any of our content. With that, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Waterboys out.